How many Warbles does it take to beat Yoshi's Woolly World? The rules are not simple. We need to define what a wool is. So, what is a wool? These Warbles count. These Warbles don't. Throwing something out of your mouth counts. Bombs don't. Throwing a second player in or out of Yoshi's mouth counts. Why does it just say insert another thing that doesn't count? Did I not finish the script? Now we have defined what a wool is. Now we have to talk about what the hell is a big Warble? A big wool is a wool that can hit multiple things. But how do we count this? 1, 2 for everything that hits? I just decided to count it just as 1. Now we can actually talk about the rules of the challenge. I'm allowing myself to hold as many Warbles as the game allows, but throwing them is not allowed. I'm allowing badges with the exception of the clear the course badge for obvious reasons. I'm also allowing mellow mode, the mode where you can infinitely flutter, as it saves a bunch of throws. So with all that said, I think we can finally start the challenge. I am also aware that Nico BBQ has already done this challenge, but his rule set differs from mine, so both our videos, despite having the same concept, will be completely different. But I'll leave them linked in the description if you want to go and check them out, which I highly advise doing. We start in 1-1. Who would have guessed? It seems like at the start of the level we need to use a Warble to get past, but with multiplayer we can do this. But we're not done yet. In Yoshi's Woolly World there are these question mark cloud things that when you hit with wool it does a variety of things. Near the end of the level there are one of these things and it spawns a flower we can platform on. But we can't do this for obvious reasons. It's not over for us though, as this is where mellow mode comes in. If we go back towards the beginning of the level and then go into this high up secret area, we can just fly all the way to the end and beat the level no problems. 1-2 is no issues, but 1-3 is a big problem. The first problem is in this section where you need to throw a Warble to get past. And there's actually no way around this, so unfortunately it is our first wall throw. But even this isn't easy, as you have to throw it perfectly to actually get past, or you'll get soft locked. Then we have to throw another 2 balls, but they're easy so it's fine. Other than the fact we actually have to throw them. Then we get to this section, where you're intended to throw a Warble up to go through these 2 layers of blocks. But it's 1 block too high to jump up, but I have a plan. We do all of this again with multiplayer. So now we're back here. Now I can bounce off the very real other person to make it up and finally do it. Oh my god. 1-4 is fine, but 1-5 requires me to do this. -6 seems impossible because of this question mark cloud we need to hit, but luckily there's a bomb nearby, so we can hit it with that, and as stated in the rules, that doesn't count. 1-7 is again very easy, but then we get to 1-8. The majority of the level is absolutely fine, until the boss. We have to hit the boss with wool, not 1, but 3 times. While it's true I can pick up the big Warbles again, and throw them multiple times, I decided that counts as multiple throws, so this level adds an entire 3 to our count. With all that said, we can move on to World 2. This game will not give you a break, as the next level, 2-1, we have to hit 2 of these 3 question mark clouds. However, we can just use 1 big ball to hit all 3, but even that's not easy, as both the height of our flutter and the angle of our throw both have to be perfect. Now let me introduce you to hell. 2-2. Now the beginning isn't too bad, other than not knowing where to go, but then we get to this section. The game wants us to throw a Warble into this question mark cloud to spawn a jump platform to get up. But we can't do this for obvious reasons. So how do we do this, you're asking? The answer is pain! The jump on another player trick we normally use isn't nearly enough height, so we're going to have to use a glitch that I'm probably not the first to find, but I haven't seen it documented anywhere else. bouncing the player like normal, but then the player on the bottom goes into an egg and is then hatched by the top player, either giving the top player more height or putting the bottom player on top. Of course, this is still not over, as then we get to the transform section. I haven't really talked about the transform sections until now, because I haven't been a problem until now. But in this transform section, having two players is really difficult as the other player holds the screen back. Obviously, we can't use one player to do this because so this is what I did. Using Wii remotes, in one hand I spammed the egg button and in the other hand I held the dig button for player 1. But that still leaves movement, so in a panic I just used my face for the D-pad. Somehow it still worked, and I'll play the entire attempt at 2 times speed. 2-3 isn't necessarily hard in the difficulty side of things, but I'm not joking when I say it nearly doubles our throw count. Seriously, 7 unavoidable throws in this one level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did manage to save one throw by using the infinite height glitch, but let's just move on. 2-4, 2-5, and 2-6 are all luckily indistinguishable from normal gameplay, but 2-7, because that very clearly says 2-7 in the script, has fire, but that is not a wall ball. But it still requires another 2 wall ball throws anyway. But of course, if one bad thing happens, it must be followed by another 57, as 2-8 has another 3 throws with a boss fight. That brings our total to 19. But on the plus side, we can move to World 3. 3-1 and 3-2 are once again very easy, and 3-3 requires a lot of the infinite height glitch. But the streak of boss levels ending our run continues, as in 3-4, this boss level requires another 3 wall balls. Who would have guessed? Do we count the egg babies in 3-5? It's possible without them anyway, so the rest of this world is actually fine though, so time to move on to World 4. 4-1 is all good, but then we get to 4-2. 4-2 starts with an auto-scroller, everyone's favourite. And then we have to go to these 2 sponge walls, which you're supposed to break with wall. While it's true the Spinies lack 2 throws can break the sponge, because it's an auto-scroller, good luck with that. And then we have to use another wall for this question mark cloud. Then this section. Because of the sponge, we have to wait a lot to get through it all. And like, a lot. And just to rub it in, there's another question mark cloud at the end. Let's just get out of here. 4-3 is easy, and 4-4 might have taken me 40 minutes to beat, plus a YouTube tutorial, but it required no wall balls, so we're all good there. 4-5 is not a problem, although, can we just take a second to appreciate how creative this level is? Anyway, I can't say high things of 4-6 though, because it requires 2 wall balls back to back. Yes, we could use 2 players to get up here without the question mark cloud, but the other question mark cloud that spawns the key can't be accessed without the weird cloak thing that the original question mark cloud thing spawns. It's complicated, I know. Both 4-7 and 4-8 are possible without any wall throws, but that's not to say 4-8 was free, as it had this one really difficult section where you had to use 2 players to jump up, but there's water streams going both ways pushing you, with a small gap where there is no water, but there's also a piranha plant spitting out, what even are those? Spiky things at you that you've constantly got to avoid while jumping up. It is possible to get through though, so we can move on to the 5th world, World 5. The start of World 5 is fine. 5-1 is good, 5-2 is good, and all I can say about 5-3 is, this is why I'm using mellow mode. Then we get to 5-4 and we have to ask, is Penguin wall ball? And to that I say, no, Penguin is Penguin. Other than that, 5-4 is good. Same with 5-5. And all I can say about 5-6 is I did a lot of that height glitch. And I'm actually getting suspicious as 5-7 was also easy. And I jinxed it. To hit the boss one time in 5-8, we have to use not 1, not 2, but 3 wall balls for 1 hit. That means for this one level, we need 9 wall balls, bringing our total all the way up to 37. Let's just move on to World 6. The final world of this challenge isn't easy, as 6-1 is one of the easiest levels of the run, but 6-2 is not. There's no point in particular that was hard, but the entire level was super difficult, as it required so much of the use of the height glitch, while being surrounded by spiky enemies. Needless to say, it's not easy. It's still possible without any wall ball throws though, so we can move on. But it's just my luck that the very next level, 6-3, would also require a wall ball. Then, 6-4, to put it simply, is not fun. It starts off with this section making us do a lot of the height glitch, then we have to use another 3 unavoidable wall balls with this boss fight. Woo! 6-5 seems fine until this section, where we have to use a wall ball and then cry for several hours straight. Both 6-6 and 6-7 are easy, and, well, would you look at that? We're at the last level of the run. 6-8. 6-8, or as I like to call it, once throw away your entire run, the level. You thought 2-2 was bad? You thought 4-2 was bad? We start off and immediately have to throw a wall ball to get to the main castle. Then we get to this room. I found a bit of cheese for this room, where we can go into 2-player and use the other player to hit the statue. Yes, this still counts as a throw, but it stops us from needing to go through the rest of the castle, which would potentially have more throws. But we still have to add another 4 to the counter. If that's not enough, we have to add another 3 for the phase of the Bowser fight, making 8 in this one level alone. But then we get to the actual final fight. This boss fight alone doubling the amount of this level. Yup, we have to hit 8 pill things, each with 1 wall ball, making 16 the final amount in this level alone. So after all this, we can finally answer the question, how many wall balls does it take to beat Yoshi's Woolly World? The number I ended out with was 58. Yeah, definitely not great. I'm not really happy with this number, and I do feel like a few things could be saved, but I've tried my best and this is what I've gotten. If any saves are found, I'll leave a pinned comment. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!